Hello, we're today still in Bali and I'm arrived special to Ubud area to meet finally with this person, Oliver. I dreamed to meet with this guy for so long time, I think almost 2 years, when I first time come to this shop in Ubud, Hormesis boutique store. And this is the owner, founder, designer, creator, and think the soul and heart and brain and everything from the shop. And finally this happened. Thank you for your time that you find today to meet with me and talk on record and share a story behind this creature in Ubud.
Wow, well, thank you for that introduction, and I'm so glad that we finally get to meet, and obviously an honor to do this for you, and hopefully people get inspired by it, because that's why we all came to Bali, yeah?
Yeah.
You know, especially Ubud for me really captured me, you know? In Ubud means medicine, Ubad, yeah? So this place is very deep medicine, and it's given me so many things, and it's evolved me, it's, you know, beautiful relationships, lots of transformation. Just I'm forever grateful for Ubud. And I've never lived anywhere else except for Ubud in Bali.
Oh.
Now I've traveled and I've adventured all over the place, and I just really find it home here, you know. And, you know, beyond Bali, beyond Ubud, there's Indonesia, right? This is a very, very magical land, and it's kind of not on the radar. And what I mean by that is, you know, I didn't learn much about Indonesia in my, you know, youth, in my high school, and didn't hear much about it, you know. So this is a very enchanted, you know, wonderful, mysterious, huge place. And one thing that comes from here is batik. And as I came here and I stayed longer and I got more involved with the, you know, the Balinese culture and eating the food and, you know, friends and going deeper into their spiritual beliefs, you know, there was one thing that I could always track was the men looked really good and the women looked really good in their batik. And I wanted to camouflage myself in with this look, you know, by wearing batik, right? So batik is, you know, we'll probably get into it more, but, you know, it's an Indonesian heritage way of creating the motif, yeah, and the patterns. So I started to get into it, and I realized that a lot of the batik now is not real batik. It's just printed, you know?
Fake.
Beautiful designs, beautiful colors, you know. But I was really just kind of heartbroken once I started to learn that, and was like, I actually really want real batik, and I want real, you know, this real Indonesian heritage thing.
Yes.
So I went searching for it, you know, and I went to Indonesia, I went to Surabaya, I went to Solo, I went to Java, I went to all these places, recognizing that the batik was not true batik. And then I went on a conquest to try to understand batik, where it came from, how they do it, you know, how there's a really nice kind or material that is batiked is a very, very high, prestigious piece of art, you know, like a true batik on a sarong from specific areas, from master people. This is a very high-end piece of art, like, and they can be very expensive, up to a couple $1,000s.
So you discover all that way from beginning, how it's created and what is it?
Yeah, I just went on the mission of trying to understand the batik and the true way of doing it, not the printing method, you know. So there's the batik tulis, you know, and there's people who have been here for 20 years doing this, you know, and there's a few Western people who do have really beautiful batik businesses. But the difference is a lot of batik isn't made with super nice quality material, you know. So that was something that was important to me. And then also what's really important to me was doing it with natural dye. So then what we started to do is a slow process, but we were learning how to make new true batik on high quality material with natural dye, with modern day symbols from the batik stamps. So because the palette of the Indonesian artist is a little bit different than the palette of the Western man or woman, right? And I'm not saying that I've absolutely figured that out, what everybody likes, because it is an exploration still, but we're doing batik with patterns and symbols that have never been used before, you know?
Exactly in Bali?
Yeah, so like just in general, I mean, you know, we have the batik with, you know, the infinity, and a batik with the, you know, hummingbirds, and batik with,
Okay, I got
you
it,
know,
yeah.
the fleur-de-lis, and batik with, you know, the crocodile. So like, although these are symbols that people might know of in Indonesia or have seen, no one's made a stamp, a copper batik stamp with
But
those
every
motifs.
stamp means something. It's all
That's
about
right.
meanings.
It's symbols are
sign,
very
yeah.
important, and they speak to your soul. And there's certain symbols that you gravitate to, and certain symbols that, you know, you gravitate away from. And so it's very subjective. It's very interpersonal. So that's what's also a beautiful part of this, is you can get a shirt or something from batik with high quality material, natural dye, and a symbol that really resonates for you.
Yeah, it's like jewelry. We always choose with some
right.
symbol, and we
That's right.
thinking it's protect us or
That's
it
right.
help us
That's
and
right.
for good luck.
Yeah.
Same, you bring clothes with symbol with some more meaning. So wow,
Yes.
that's great.
Thank you. Thank you for seeing it and appreciating it, acknowledging it. Yeah. And that's a good reference. Like a ring, is a symbol. It uses stones. It's you know, metals, golds, and it's a whole alchemical piece. And that's why it's very powerful jewelry, you know? So this is the same thing. It's an alchemical piece that's powerful for you. And it's, you know, how I see it is, I do call it talismanic fashion, because these things they should give you power and help you navigate through the world, you know.
Yeah, so
on your day-to-day.
you just make clothes speaking.
That's right. Yeah.
In some other natural way with symbols. But even from beginning, of course, you come to Bali, you live here, you're interested in batik, but fashion, of course, I understand more modern fashion industry is the most designer, stylist in the world, the most fanciest man, of course. But what's the interest? Why create clothes? Why create fashion trends?
Well, I think one thing that's a good thing that happens here in Bali is that there is modernization to a certain degree. There's a value of good there, that we're bringing certain things here that, you know, do assist in the standard of living, the quality of life. But then there's a lot of things where people are like, oh, well, we don't have a bowling alley yet in Bali. We should build a bowling alley, you know? And again, maybe that improves your quality of life to a certain degree. But what I'm saying is, Western people come here, they want to bring their Western mind and their Western mentality here. And I feel like that's happened enough. What we need to do is, there's a lot of really good things here. So let's look at the really good things that are here, and let's accentuate them and improve them. So for me, mine was clothes, you know, and garments, and I like to dress well. I've always been somebody who appreciates fine garments, and I never thought I would get into this. It was never like a, you know, youthful career aspiration. It just happened, you know, and it's still an evolution. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, there's so much beauty here. Let's just enhance what's the beauty that's already here, instead of completely trying to change the beauty that's here with this modernized version of the Western world. So like, even the store, I'm trying to keep it as Balinese as possible. And what I mean by that is interweaving the art, the statues, you know, the paintings, you know, from, you know, everything that's beautiful in Balinese. Let me just try to have the last little shop of Bali in this ever-changing, quick, fast
it's like keep
space.
traditional Balinese, truly Balinese, but on the new luxury way, new luxury stage.
Yeah, right. Yeah, everything. In America, I call it generica. Everything looks the same, you know?
Yeah.
There's a very basic blueprint that everybody follows. And if you notice, if you've been here for 5 years, 10 years, you start to see how there's just a generic blueprint that now everybody follows. It's the same looking restaurant. It almost tastes the same also,
Like,
you know?
copy paste, yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, the thing is, there was actually really beautiful, cool things here, and there still is, you know, but we've kind of moved into this generic concept, which I'm trying to avoid.
Hormesis, what that means, that word?
Yeah, that's a good question. Hormesis is it's a scientific term. It's becoming more popular now in this day and age of biohacking and such like that. And it's, to simplify it, it's a healthy stress.
Healthy stress.
Yes. So it's a way of taking a little bit of pain, a little bit of poison, having to do something that makes you and improves you.
Wow.
So you could live in a hormetic state or in hormesis if you're fasting, for instance, right? So you're stressing your body a little bit, but then you're in the process.
It's a good example.
It's good, you know. There's a beneficial quality that's evolving from that little bit of stress. Now, if you don't eat ever again, you'll die, right? You'll eventually just starve to death. So it's not too much, it's not too little. It's almost that perfect Goldilocks zone of perfection. You know, that's hormesis.
And this is symbol. It has wings and here it has eye in the middle.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, I've gone on different spiritual evolutions in my life. You know, I see a lot of, when I close my eyes and I go into a deep space, I see a lot of wings. I see a lot of wings and I see a lot of these plus signs. That's also a symbol that we use here. And I see a lot of the caduceus. It's almost very similar to the caduceus symbol, which is the health symbol, which is the Nida and the Pingala, which is also the modern day medicinal sign that you see on medicine. It's the two serpents going with the two wings. Yeah. So it's hard to explain, but this is what I see.
It just came like in meditation, we can say.
Yeah.
Like spiritual journey.
It's a lot of wings and a lot of eyes. And as I've gone deeper and deeper into that, the only thing that I have been able to assess from what that is it's a type of angelic being. And then now there's these images that have come up in the last couple years, which are the more realistic versions of what an angel would look like, based on the Bible. So we have a seraphim angel as our symbol, which is, you know, not my symbol, but it's, you know, it's a universal symbol, and, you know, that's just what I see.
Okay, we are in Ubud, and in Ubud we can speak without touching spiritual, and I can see there is all the sciences about spirituality, about even your journey, about all the science, what you can see in your meditation, all the journey. How you think, can you be a successful entrepreneur and business owner without spirituality in our world in general? Exactly, in Bali too.
I think it really depends on what your gauge of successful is.
Yeah, successful is for everyone, it's different.
It's different, yeah. And we're programmed, especially if you're coming from Russia, America, Bali, everybody's got a different programming of what success means. Now, in my understanding, I don't think you can be successful without that spiritual aspect. Now, some people might unconsciously be using and applying the spiritual aspect without knowing, but really it's a high level quality of being in unison with your environment, with your employees, with your patrons, you know. So there's a harmony that's involved in it. There's a symbiotic relationship that's occurring with each other. There's a dance. This to me is, I mean, again, this was given to me. You know, I don't want to get too spiritual or too woo-woo, but it's from the inside. I didn't force it. I didn't, you know, I didn't attack it like a Western mind of saying I'm going to do this and I'm going to read all these books and get this download on how to do this and get this coach and mentor. It's like a natural unfolding. To me, this is like you know, part of the spiritual path, and you get led down different roads. So I think that business in general, life in general, with that hint of spirituality and the true understanding of what that means into it, is going to be it's going to take you to a high level of success no matter what. And that also might be different based on your and my opinion on what success is. Yeah.
Science is about Balinese culture, Balinese ceremonial life. But I have seen photo shooting, a lot of picture on your Instagram and brand profile that you play paintball with it, and it's very comfortable. So for me, it's like mixed. How it came like surfer life, California life, paintball life, ceremonial life, Balinese, and all it's like together. So make it clear for me.
Well,
As
so
brand conception, yeah.
you know, I chose at a young age to pursue a dream, and that was to play professional paintball. At 16, I started to go into the pros. 17, I was the youngest professional in the world, and so I climbed that ladder. I dedicated 20 years of my life to that profession, and I had achieved everything and won everything and earned money and prestige and a lot of those things that you would quantify as success. Yeah. And, I was like 30 years old, and to be honest, I was slightly still confused on what I'm doing here, what my purpose is, what's happening, and and what am I really doing, Because to me, that was a preparatory level of my life. So this has nothing to do with paintball, so to say. I'm a ex-retired professional paintball player. I make this stuff. I live in Bali. I do make a few of these things for my industry in America, and people do like it because they like me.
Oh, okay.
Right? So we do have a version of this, which is Hormesis Paintball, which is growing in that industry. But this is Hormesis Attire. This is a Balinese clothing store in Bali. And it's my art. It's a higher end. It's, we're doing something that's very boutique and very niche, that doesn't have much, that doesn't have any sales in the U.S.
Okay, so this is the main home store, Hormesis Attire, exactly Balinese. And in U.S. you have like branch, but completely different, which matched exactly with the U.S. needs and your
That's right, yeah.
Professional game life there.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm still involved in the industry because it's an industry that took care of me so well, and I have so much love and adoration for so many people in it, and I'm a big name in that. It's like, if there's, again, it's not to boost my ego, but it's like in my industry, it's like there's a Kelly Slater or there's a Tiger Woods or there's these types of individuals who have reached a level. They can never be separated from that. They're always that. There's a part of them that's always in there and will always do those things and be a part of that industry. So that's similar to me.
But it's get nice expansion, because people thinking how we can expand market, how we can expand our business. So you open here, and just by your priorities, your interest in your hometown, your country, it just happened naturally.
Yeah.
Because people like you, they like your.
Well, we had a following.
They support you, and you bring their other collection, and this is expansion happened naturally.
And people in that industry, in that community, they see the beauty in this also. They see there's a spiritual thread that's connected to it. So a lot of them come to the store and make it a pilgrimage to come to the store, and to, buy something and, look at the pictures, and, there's a lot of.
All your customers?
No, this is all, this is all art from old Bali, art from our photo shoots, art from a little bit of some paintball culture, a little bit art of our process, but really it's just a wall of, this memory of this time in Bali that was to me such a special time. Bali in the 70s, 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, there was, I think maybe I lived here also. I don't know, in another life.
You keep Balinese tradition. So, and you said all these signs, all these special attributes which you want to keep and bring another level with more high quality to keep it, because we're foreigner, we come to Bali, and most of the people bring some for Western culture, but you one, and I'm really appreciate you for that. You want to keep local, stay local, being Balinese, don't lost under our pressure here.
No,
don't lose their roots. And recently I speak with another one girl who is owner of Balinese ceremonial baju. And she brings exactly this is baju for the new level, like luxury, be on ceremonial, but be in luxury. So looks not just only for like how supposed to be.
Sure.
Looks beautiful, and together all family in one set in one colors. You do same things. You have a lot of not just only t-shirts, jackets, pants. You have some things which supposed to be work for ceremonial, for Balinese ceremonial.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Balinese have, they have impeccable style. Let's just be honest. The Balinese are so stylish. They've just really got it. All ages, men, women, they they do it, you know. But unfortunately, in the time of modernization, things need to be fast and cheap, you know. We need to make this thing fast and cheap. People need, and then for some reason we got hooked on the idea that cheap is better, or that, you know, we just want everything cheap. And I will say, when I came to Bali, it was nice because things were cheap. And I will say that I did like that. But as I'm here for a long time, I realized that a lot of things break because they're cheap, you know? So now I've gone backwards, and I'm like, no, I want expensive. I want the best quality of something, you know? So like on my journey again, you know, you zigzag through it, but like, I don't want to wear a cheap printed polyester batik shirt. And I don't want you to either. You know, I want you to appreciate that there's an art involved in this, right? There's an art involved in so many things that go on here. And we're so heavily inspired by the Balinese and their beauty and their art and their way of living and their devotion that, you know, if we don't like stay super involved in appreciating that, then why are we even in Bali? We could be anywhere else in the world. So we have to have this appreciation for it. And as things change here, you know, it's going to take Balinese, it's going to take Western people, it's going to take people who really can pull it back and reintegrate the value of beauty into the simple things. That's like the sarongs or the shirts, or even paintings, you know. If you look at a painting from here from 30, 40 years ago, it's on another level than the painters that are painting now. And some of the people don't even paint anymore because it's too time consuming. And people just want a fast piece of art. But it's like, no, anything good takes time. We know this. So it's kind of that reintroduction and that reappreciating the value of quality. And, you know, again, it's not about it being expensive and making it good. It's just about the process and the integrity involved in the process, you know? So my idea in the future is Balinese people love my stuff. Indonesian people love my stuff, you know, and they appreciate that, hey, look, there's a Western guy who's reviving or kind of recreating and reinventing this thing that's ours. And maybe they do it also. And maybe they bring in the value system again of high quality material and well-paid employees and natural dyes so things don't pollute the subak and such like that, you know? These are things that maybe I have to do that inspires them to do it also.
Yeah, it's always like start from yourself and other people.
That's
right.
Right.
The example for other people.
That's right. And, you know, eventually I'd like to just give this to my staff and just leave one day and say, hey, good job. You know, you continue this thing, give it to your kids, put it on to the next generations and such. Because, again, we are literally the only people in the world, and I don't know why, but we're the only ones in the world that are doing this. And that's why it's a different garment than another shirt company around this corner or all these other ones. It's just a different product. And some people really see it. Then thank you for seeing it. And some people go, oh, that's expensive. But again, that's a limited mindset of an individual. They don't understand the process. If we want everything cheap, we're literally going to be poisoning this place with trash and everything is just going to be garbage. We need to re-instill the value of quality. You know?
But shows the process and even customer experience. Even I've been customer here in the shop, and you understand power in details. It's about everything. Even I asked today Chachi to show me again. This is a letter which you put with every purchase. Letter how to burn a t-shirt after it die. Oh my God, I never seen it anywhere in the world. And it's your idea, of course, you created.
Well, because again, you know, this is how I see this is wearing nature. This is a linen shirt. This is a piece of grass that's been, you know, woven now, and then now it's naturally dyed with a saphan wood, you know. And then this is a real, it sounds weird to say this, but this is a real button. This is a wooden button. It's made from a tree, you know, it's not a plastic thing. If you take a regular shirt that's polyester, rayon, whatever, you know, with plastic buttons, and then you throw it into the earth, it's not going to disintegrate for thousands of years. This thing will be gone in like a month, you know. You won't even be able to recognize that it's there because it's literally nature. So we emphasize the notion of wear nature, you know? Like,
nature and long lasting because of the quality. You and I used my t-shirt, I think this is there 2 years already, and it's still good. It's
Yeah.
still okay.
And how I see it is
so understand for what you pay.
it's a living, I see it as a living plant. Like this is a plant still, so it's living. And it's gonna die eventually. I water it and take care of it and iron it or steam it or whatever it is, Eventually it'll die, and then at that point, have a little ceremony and bury it, and you got your usage out of it,
It's a cool idea. Oh my God, it's so creative.
It's like us though, right? You're gonna be born, you're gonna live for, 80, 90 years, and then you're gonna return back to the earth, It's like, this is what you see here in Bali, they're so connected to death and ceremony and, it's just the cycle, birth. It's like, so this is your garments of clothes too. And you should appreciate the garments that you wear. You've got a very beautiful dress on. It's like, you don't need 100 crappy things. You just need like 5 or 10 really nice ones and wear them every day. Like I've got my uniform, like I don't stray whether anymore, like I traveled so much in my life that, you come to Bali and turn on Bali clothes, and then you'd have to go to, Turkey or something. You couldn't wear your Bali clothes, so it's like, no, this is just it now.
Yeah, now you have very
it's just
suitable,
universal.
Yeah, for any countries.
That's
and
right.
Always look cool.
Yeah.
And natural, and your body say you thank you.
Yes.
For good quality too.
Totally. Well, actually, that there's a lot of science now that's out there. That we have a direct relationship to the materials that we wear. So linen, we've been wearing the longest as human beings, and it actually gives us energy. It actually creates less static, so you get more charged when you wear linen.
You have to use it in a marketing company. Stay more younger.
So people don't care. They do, but they don't. Like it's almost too wordy for them to get that. But the point is, if you're wearing neoprene or plastic shirts or super unorganic cottons and such like this. Polyester, like I hope you don't wear polyester, but a lot of people do,
Yeah.
They stink, first of all. Like guys come in here with their Nike shirt on, and it's like, it's like you can smell them from, it just amplifies it. The bacteria can't hide in that. And it's like, it actually takes away your energy when you wear these types of things.
Yeah, it's like obvious things, but we always forget about it. What we wear, what we eat, that's like very, very basic things, but always we have to remind it to people's mind and say, why this is our food price like that, why this is clothes price like that.
Well, this is part of the spiritual journey. It's just becoming more conscious, becoming more aware, becoming more connected to your surroundings and the outcomes of what you do and say and think, It gets easy then, because it's like, I just want to wear good quality products from good brands that actually care about me and support, people. And I want to eat good food from good places, where, people have the good intention to make it. It's not just a slaughterhouse where it's just sell as many hamburgers as possible, It's like you vote for who you shop, where you shop,
Yeah, respect.
And this is part of the journey, and I hope everybody gets there one day, where they care,
Yeah, again, come back from what we started about, that you keep ceremonial life in a new level. I like your Instagram because before I have seen a lot of pictures just on like fancy guy, like model, all the things. And after suddenly you change your content to Balinese life. You start to wear your Balinese clothes on the just normal, regular people on the village, some old people, some young people, how they make their everyday routine life in your clothes. And it looks like historical movie. It looks amazing, and I always look like, wow, it's attached, and you can't stop to watch it because it's so evolving. And it's like new rereading of fancy, of Balinese life, of trends, and that we're local and you can be trend, you can be fancy too.
Yeah.
So be local, it's be proud to be local. Something
Totally.
like that.
This is why we all came here, We wanted to kick off our shoes and, we wanted to be like the Balinese, Let's be honest, they just are cool. They know how to live life well,
But it's good that you show for Balinese people again that be Balinese, be proud that you are Balinese, because we come here and most of them won't be like bully. We bring Western trends and say, I don't want follow my tradition. I forget about my rules. Now I want to be bule.
Yeah,
But
that's a
we
good
show
point.
them that we respect it and we want you continue this way, and we will help you as much as possible
Yeah.
to keep it as long as possible.
I think that probably definitely happens to a certain degree, but I think a lot of Balinese are very proud to be Balinese, you know. And there's obviously, you know, just again, in modern times, you know, now we've got these iPhones and these things, so these kids are, you know, learning a lot more. But I think the Balinese are very proud to be Balinese, you know. I mean, a lot of them don't leave, you know, so that's already a good sign, you know. Like, I think most of them have never left the island, you know.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah,
90% of, maybe 95, maybe 98% of them have never even left Bali.
Yes.
So you can tell that they already know that this is the best place. Yeah, I don't want to be the old white bule rice farmer one day. So, you know, you got to keep your stay with your heritage. It's important, you know.
So you don't represent it in Australia, only US and Bali?
Yeah, you know, we're very small. This is only 2 years with the store. It's been 4 years with the company since we intuited it, and then when I say we, this is my best friend and I. So it's a partnership of, he does live in California, and you know, his childhood best friend. He's probably my longest time friend at this point, and you know, so he supported me in this journey, and he's handling some of the American sides of it, and yeah.
Bali is still place where we have exhibition, as I called, about coffee places and boutique store. And you know it because you live here for a long time and you still decided to open one more shop. Of course, it's completely different and new style and new trend and absolutely different, but still one more clothes shop.
Sure.
What challenges was about competitive world? Bali is very competitive world.
Very competitive, yeah.
These things, and we speak about business. We can speak a lot about tradition, ceremonial life, and how we support, but it's about money.
Sure.
How to be.
Well, again, I don't think I would have ever done this if this was just a generic situation, you know? Like if I'm going down to Denpasar and just buying material that's already sewed and cutting it into a shirt, that's not interesting to me, you know? So to me, to be honest, I haven't had any difficulties yet. It just takes time. It takes the information to get out there. It takes the right people to walk into the door. But beyond that, there's been no difficulties in a sense. And I don't even see myself as a competitive against anything else, because everything else is so different. You know, I just take a lot of pride in saying that there's not any places that are doing exactly what we're doing. There's a couple cool places that sell really nice batik, true batik. But in terms of the combination that we're doing, they don't have that. So to be honest, I don't feel like I have any competitors, you know, yet. Until somebody watches this. But with that being said, you know, anytime you do something first and anytime you go into something truly and wholeheartedly with this type of like intention, like the combination of what we're doing here, it's always going to be a success. Is how I see it. Even if there's 20 or 30 other people who do this after me, you'll whenever you're the first, you're in it. You know, you already have.
Yes, exactly. Yes, and another one guest said me nice things, and I really like it. The more people will do it, the more we'll make it popular.
That's right.
And the more customers will come and know about us.
Yeah.
So we will get our customer anyway, but they will help me. They will assist me after me to make me more popular.
I wish that I would have like actually gotten into it a little bit earlier, and not because of the competition, but there was a lot of really interesting guys that were already doing this in a way at different times, but it never really, some of it took off, you know, like a Paul Rope. Some of these guys, I just would love to have met them, you know. They all passed away already, you know, but there were some real original, you know, guys that were coming here in the 70s and the 80s and doing stuff with batik, and, you know, some of them have huge brands still, but they're not alive. So I would love to have met them, you know.
What you can suggest for someone who want to open their store, boutique, and start some fashion in their life when haven't experienced before, because you pass all this way and now yes you are like successful, we can say, in Bali and US still. Any some tips like 3-5? Again,
you know, it's like figure out what's meaningful to you, you know. Like if you just, fashion now is so basic,
But
if you
as
ask
from
me.
entrepreneur, like from entrepreneur side, what you can suggest, 3-5 tips if someone want to start fashion business?
Again, yeah, I just think figure out what's really meaning to you and go into that. So like if you want to start a fashion business and the environmental damage is very inspiring to you to not do that, then figure out how to do it in such a way and use environmental friendly things and figure out the new materials and there's so much really revolutionary technology out there going on now in materials that there's probably a lot of stuff that I don't even know about. But like if that's meaningful to you, saving the world in terms of not having a byproduct from the fashion industry, figure out the alternative materials, build a fashion brand on that, if that's what matters to you. If something else matters to you, if it's art and you want to make something really crazy and very artistic, well then focus on figuring on that out. But figure out what you really like and what means something
About your
really
passion and love.
yeah, it really means something to you, and then I don't want to say attack it. I want to say allow it to come to you, but move forward towards it. It's like if you've got the vision and you see something and you're interested in something and that's meaningful to you, then just gravitate towards it. It's like it's like two lovers coming to meet.
And work on you.
Yeah. So just find out what's meaningful to you, and then move towards it and slowly chip away at it. And what happens is, to me, and what I've recognized in any of this is like the pieces come to you. The people show up.
Opportunities comes.
Like my manager Cha, who you love so much. I'd been talking to her for so many years, trying to get her to work for me and different things, and she just never would. And then one day I said, I'm doing this business. She said, no, I don't want to work. And then one day she calls me, hey, I want to work for you. So she's a magnet towards this thing, and she connected us. So what I'm saying is in the process of doing your business, just watch to see who comes to you and who gets attracted to you, and how you can partner and be friends and work together. And the shop the shop location will open, the right vendors will open, this connection will bridge to that connection, you'll get that material, you'll meet someone like you'll be able to share your story. So it's all part of the whole working.
All work in one process. Now you have 2 shops in Ubud.
Correct.
So you recently opened another one. And any expansion inside Bali?
Yeah,
Canggu?
I would love to. I avoid Canggu a lot, and maybe I need to maybe not anymore. Because again, another part of living here in Bali, and I'm sure you experience this, is, you getting over your judgments towards things.
Yeah, but still we say it about business. Yeah, Canggu, it's hell area. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's hell. But there is a lot of clothes store, and they're all about women collections.
Sure.
And I never seen so fancy, nice clothes for men collection.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of surfers, a lot of guys who come, and Canggu public like to look nice.
Totally, that's right. Yeah.
They're very fancy, and guys very
which
fancy
I
there.
appreciate.
So this is, I think, very key of success to stay here, because too much, again, beverage and food beverage places.
Sure.
Too much women clothes, white, as bikini collections, and no one care about men.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would love to expand. I had a dream recently that I need to go to Seminyak.
Yeah, same, good.
And I'm open to all that. I mean, honestly, that's my dream, is to probably have 4, 5, 6 stores just all throughout Bali. I don't really care about going to anywhere else, to be honest, at least in the next 5, 10 years, And, I want to just perfect our garments, perfect our wear, really get and hone it down even better and make it just the best, and people can appreciate that. And, one thing that I love about Bali that I've tracked with many people is people want to come to Bali, they want to experience this magic of this place, and they want to take something home from Bali.
Of course, it's like all these souvenirs.
That's right. So things are so beautiful. So, there's probably more pieces of Bali in random people's homes around the world than any other country, I would say, or any other place,
exactly.
And that's how I just love the idea of people coming from all over the world and just buying one shirt and saying, this is my Hormesis shirt. I'm going to go back to England. I'm going to go back to Russia. I'm going to go back to, wherever it is. And they got their one little piece of Bali. They got their one little Hormesis shirt. Whether they wear it every day or they only wear it for special occasions, to me that would just be a very cool thing for my life and my enjoyment of this process is that, you know, I get to beautify men, and they, even if they just have one shirt and they take it back to their country and they get to wear it, and if somebody goes, wow, that's a nice shirt, wow, you know, where'd you get that shirt? Or maybe it's a girl picks them up by saying, oh wow, where'd you get that shirt? You know, because that's what happens when you wear nice clothes. You know, you become more approachable, you know, you're a little bit more elegant and more refined. And this is when a woman will even come up to you and say, wow, look at that shirt, you know. Like, I get compliments on my clothes all the time, you know, and I get the benefit to be able to say, yeah, thank you, I made it, you know, kind of thing.
This is my own
you know. But I what I notice is that because I get it, other people must be getting it too. You know, so it's not just, you know, I'm not a 6'5" tall guy. Like, I don't go to the gym. You know,
I imagine
you know,
you at
I need to wear a nice shirt.
On plane and someone say, wow, it's nice.
That's right. You know, so, you know, it's just a beautiful thing. Like, if a shirt could make a connection with somebody and you wear it, and that's the bridge, man, fantastic.
Yeah, it's better to bring some new clothes and keep it. Remind about your vacations and dust keeper, as I always say.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
okay, thank you so much for your time. Thank you
so
to share
much.
the story behind that brand, your journey, business and spiritual journey, when all these two parts always come together. And the more you connect it with yourself and with our planet, with the earth and the place where we are living, the more you will be successful in the way you want to be. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and I hope people enjoyed it, and hope people come stop by the store and support you, and we'll support you.
Support us. So we do it together, win-win.
It's a win-win. This is community.
This is about us in Bali. Thank you so much, guys. Subscribe, please. It's for free, but helps me a lot to run this channel. And please visit the store next time when we will be in Ubud area. Makasih.